What's up, everybody? Oakland 93 in the place to be. Welcome to the first ever edition of the Bennett Brothers Wrestling Corner Retro. Remember, this was based on an idea by our good buddy Nathan Banks. Now, as a part of Nathan Banks' original idea, I was supposed to be joined with somebody, but it seemed as though for this initial retro edition of the corner, it'll be just me by myself. And that's all good, and that's all good in the hood and good and fine and dandy. Also, this wrestling corner is brought to you by notepads because you need to keep tabs on things, and in this time of age, we most time don't put a lot of pen and pencil to paper. We most time use our tablet or use our phone and use memo to keep tabs of things. But every once in a while, it's good to have a notepad. I hope everybody's weekend was as easy as using a napkin. Mine sure was, but my Monday morning could have been a little bit better because on my way to school, I slipped on ice and landed. Well, I didn't hurt myself, but I landed on my side. My book bag took the brunt of it. That was like the first time in a long time that I'd ever slipped and busted my ass or my hip on ice. But no, that happened. And then also, I had what the Lindor chocolates, the smooth chocolates, that the smooth circle chocolate that come in the wrapper. I had the new caramel versions, and I took two with me, and I put them in my pants pocket, which was a bad idea because everybody knows how hot pants pockets, they get hot quick, it gets warm quick because it's right next to the body and everything. And sure enough, they melted inside my pocket. The caramel oozed out, and that caramel smell is very strong. So that's how I picked up on it that it happened. But I digress. Also, last night. Wait, what did you guys say? Oh. Last night was also Fastlane, which will also, I will give my thoughts on. Since the main, topic is, the retro pay-per-view up for discussion, which is Royal Rumble 2000. I think I'll save that for last and just kick right into, Fastlane. Kick into gear. Get it? Fastlane, kick into gear. No, Fastlane. Hold up, guys. All right, Fastlane, they emanated from Memphis, Tennessee. Here's a quick note. Since we have Verizon, Sunday I looked on I was searching through the guide, just searching, and on the pay-per-view channel, which was showing Fastlane, in the description, it said, this is the first ever, not the first. This is the inaugural, the first inaugural pay-per-view, Fastlane. However, what was funny is that there was a botch in the Verizon description saying that Fastlane will be the first ever WWE pay-per-view to emanate from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. You had Saturday. You had St. Valentine's Day Massacre. You had you had Um, you had Unforgiven 2007. So I was like, okay, now that's a botch. But but anyway, let's get on with the Fastlane. Um, you know, I was very active in the Wrestling Corner, chat room on Facebook during Fastlane, and you know, Fastlane, it really felt. I'm not saying Fastlane was horrible, but you could either call that, once again, it kind of goes back to why I say they should maybe bring back Saturday's night, main event, because at times that's what it felt like. And I'm seeing that some people felt, oh, shoot, we're a little bit early. And like some people felt it was just a glorified Raw. And some of the decisions, yeah, they feel like, could have just been on a Raw. Let's kick off with the first match. Fastlane kicked off with the six-man tag. The six-man tag, which you would have never known was going to be on the card unless you looked on W.com. Because I don't know why they did not announce that would be a six-man tag with Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, and Rollins versus the Authority, Seth Rollins, Big Show, and Kane. I don't understand why they just didn't announce that on SmackDown. But nonetheless, so we kick off with the six-man tag, oh man, the Tennessee just booed their head coach. Yeah. Hold on, before I don't understand. I don't understand, right? I'm speaking on this. I don't understand WWE. Um, you know, presentation right now. That wherever you just and you just ended it with a page entrance, and you basically alluded that when we come back, we're going to be, with a page match. And now you go. Why are you just gonna save the Sting program? But this is like sidetracking, Page's match. So the attention is on this with Sting instead of, oh shoot, Tony Schiavone. I thought you looked now. Almost looked like Arn Anderson Jr. And now and then you go on this Sting program. Why you just couldn't, save after the Page match, go with the Sting program? Just stay with one thing. So yeah, the six-man tag, Rowan played the face in peril, with his leg being, worked over, and then, Ryback will get some good offense in, and had a nice transition into the shell shock when he countered Rollins' blockbuster into the shell shock, which was a nice and powerful spot. Everybody knows. And then, Ziggler would get the hot tag. And, he would hit a famouser on Rollins, who was trying to get in the ring. Then he leaps on Kane, does a couple of dump punches, and Big Show leaps up while referee distracted. WMD. Ziggler gets chokeslam. 1, 2, 3. Once again, Ziggler takes the fall. That was a very displeasurable, decision, from in the chat. In the chat, I don't think really anybody really liked that decision. I mean, I'm, I think as Nate said it, Big Show and Kane, being Ziggler, what did that really benefit? I think Ziggler, I think Team Ziggler should have won that. I actually had them to win. And then, the beat down would ensue. A post-match beat down would ensue. You had Ziggler again, I think Ziggler got curb stomped again. He got curb stomped. And then Rowan got curb. And then when they're about to curb stomp, right back. Lo and behold, Randy Orton comes back. And, he tries to get at Seth Rollins. And, he gets pulled. Big Show, bails Rollins out. Orton hit RKO on Joey Mercury. And RKO on Kane. One of the funniest things that me and Chris pointed out about, Randy Orton's return, which Nate went on to go say felt pretty lackluster. And it wasn't the best return, but one thing I pointed out, and when Stephen and Chris saw, he was like, really? This Orton came back in his ring gear. And I'm just like, I get the suspension of disbelief, but this guy's been out of action, out of action for how long? And he comes back in his ring gear. There's only certain wrestlers that I can accept when they come back in their ring gear, and that's because their character is so strong or like gimmicky. That's Undertaker, Sting, Kane, probably Abyss, and that's bad. But Orton come back in his briefs and everything. I'm like, you don't got a match. Why couldn't you just come out, in a shirt, your new shirt and some jeans and boots? I've seen him wear casual clothes before. That just seems so like, really, you couldn't just come back in casual gear. That's but I digress. But yeah, so Team Kane will pick up the victory for Authority. Then we will move on to we will go to the Goldust Stardust match, the brother versus brother match. Really? Wow. Oh! If she can find one. Well, that was a pretty kind of wasteful segment. You don't have to love the Bellas, but Goldust and Stardust. The story was, you had a cool thing with Dusty Rhodes and Dustin telling Cody, telling how not to hurt not to hurt Stardust because he's still your brother, and Goldust saying how he's gonna bring Cody back home. And the match itself, it started out pretty well. Hobby being, where's the chat board thing? I prefer the chat instead of comments. The chat board. If you're referring to the Q&A app or the wait, the chat. All right, so for Bobby Bean, the chat box, group chat box is open. But mostly everybody here just, they just come. But if that's what you prefer, hey, that's what you prefer. But I'm not even sure of how the group chat works on a live event, because most of the time, one time the group chat is used, that I've used the group chat unless I'm in a hangout with my friends because we're in the group. But I don't know if it works the same way for live event, because you're not actually part of you're not invited, you're not a guest of the stream or the hangout. So I don't know if it works the same way. Hey, we got Jay Flow. How's it going? Oh, hey, Malcolm, good to see you, man. How's it going, Jay Flow? So yeah, so the match was the match started off pretty good, and then it kind of like dragged on a bit. And one of the things that stuck out was what Nate said: good storytelling, but not so great match. And I think I can say the same. I think I can agree with that too. I don't think it was the best match that the Rose Brothers could have. Because at first I was liking the flow. There was a good spot where Cody tried to go for the bulldog and got countered to a backbreaker, and then got put on the ring, and it looked like the pace was going to pick up a little bit. And then when Cody got it really like slowed down. He said, Cody, who's your favorite? I'm like, okay, I don't need no guy in my ear saying that. But then the finish, which was pretty screwy. Cody looks like he's gonna go for the crossroads or whatever he calls it now that he's Stardust. And Goldust counts with a snapmare and then counts with a crucifix pin. And Rudy Charles, and then Rudy Charles, he counts the 1-2, and then he doesn't hit the mat the third time, but then he goes, ring the bell. And I'm thinking, wait, what? I'm like, was that supposed to be intentional, a screwy finish, or was that just a botched finish? But the way I took it, it seemed like that was supposed to be the finish, but Rudy Charles just, kind of effed it up. Then the Bushwhackers. And then, there'll be a backstage segment that involved, the Rose family and Cody beating up on Dustin. And then, Cody saying that Dusty's in his shadow. And, then when Dusty, looking after Dustin, I'm telling you, it sounded like he said, when he called for security, it's like he said, shit. I'm like, what? Did he just say that? So, yeah, so Goldust would win, with some really screwy count by the ref. Then we would go on to Tyson Kidd, Cesaro versus the Usos for the tag team championship. And this was one of the best matches of the card. I mean, especially during when it picked up to that fifth gear, and we saw and you saw there was a spot where Tyson Kidd is insecure on the apron, and then the one Usos jumped and hit Cesaro, and then Tyson Kidd took care of that Uso, but then those two went for a baseball slide, they got dodged, but then Tyson Kidd tried to do his kick from the apron when somebody's on the floor, and he got put in the Samoa drop and then into the barricade, which has happened to Tyson Kidd before. Back when he first fought the Usos, when the Usos were heels back in 2010 at Money in the Bank. It was either Money in the Bank or no, it was I think Fatal 4-Way. And then then the ending will come. No, the ending will come. Cesaro tried to get in after rolling one Usos in. He would take a super kick. And then I believe it was Jay or Jimmy's leg that was hurt. It was Jimmy. It was Jimmy's leg that was hurt. And so Tyson Kidd exploited that with a kick, low kick, and then he would hit his, spinning fisherman neck breaker. And he would get the 1, 2, 3, and we would have new tag champions. I found that very surprising. Not because Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, I didn't think they could win, but I just not expect Usos to drop the belt at Fastlane. And, I really do. Once again, I think Tyson Kidd and Cesaro just has really meshed well as a team. And I really enjoyed this tandem. Once again, I thought it would just be, makeshift and nothing to it, nothing of it. But it's really developed into a pretty good tag team. And by the way, Natalya, what she was wearing, that vinyl latex attire, man, looks almost like Black Caddish. This guy. Then we would get on to Nikki Bella versus Paige for the Divas Championship. And, man, we had a pretty good, spot at the end where Nikki would hit a sunset flip standing power bomb. And then after that kick out, and then we get a teaser of the PTO. Then the match would end with this lame-ass botch tights pull roll-up pin. And that really, I'm like, man, this match was just getting good and ends with that. Nikki botches she throws Paige into the turnbuckle. And then, and then this botch tights pull pin. It don't get better with what we just saw on Raw with that wasteful match. What did that really do for Paige or anything? Then it gets worse in terms of finish. Because then we move on to the Intercontinental Championship match, Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose. And the match was pretty good. And Ambrose hit one of his best pendulum lariats. That thing almost throughout the arena. And then we would get all this running around from Barrett. I'm like, okay. But then once I saw him wrapped himself around the rope and getting kicked, I'm like, this is going to lead to some disqualification finish for the Ambrose losing. And sure enough, it did. So we get back-to-back lame finishes that could have been done on a Raw. That's why I'm guessing some people say it felt like a glorified Raw. Or at least a Saturday Night Main Event. That's something you don't really do back-to-back screw pins. That really takes the crowd out of it. And Ambrose hit the dirty deeds on Barrett for the match. He would steal his Intercontinental Championship. Still, that's like the 5th pay-per-view. If you count the Royal Rumble, that's like the 5th pay-per-view in a row where Ambrose was not on the winning end. So I asked the question, Nate asked the question, how long before this keeps up? How long does this keep up before Ambrose's popularity, depletes? Hopefully, Ambrose is like, it doesn't justify the booking, but hopefully Ambrose is like RVD, where he's so appealing to the fans that, he can take those bumps and the fans will still like him. But that, once again, that doesn't justify the booking of Ambrose for the past 5 pay-per-views. Again, you don't count the Royal Rumble. If he wasn't to win the Rumble, okay. But still, you count Hell in a Cell. If you count SummerSlam, you got SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, TLC, and now Fastlane. No way, not 5 straight, because he wasn't there for Night of Champions. That's when he came. But still, all the favorites that he's been in, that he's had a match, yeah, it's either been a disqual, he's lost, he's been disqualified, or once again he's lost. You know, he had that Looney Tune-esque finish at TLC. I just don't kind of understand the Ambrose as a place. You know, yeah, he gets to drop him bare, but you know, so many papers with a, you know, with coming up empty-handed. No, it's almost like how Ryback did. Almost like how Ryback was at one time. And this is over. Well, from a Ryback, so there it is. Then we would get on to the United States Championship match between Rusev defending his title against John Cena. And I felt this match got better as it went along. I really did. You know, you had Cena put on the crossface, which Franco always calls the STF every time Cena does the crossface. You had Rusev had a good performance. There wasn't that much outside action that I thought it maybe would be. It mostly stayed in the ring. If I'm not mistaken, it stayed in the ring throughout the whole match. I think only a brief period was on the outside. You know, we would have FU kickouts, and you know, Cena was putting accolade, and you know, he would power up. And then when I see Lana trying her best to stay on the apron without slipping on her high heels, I'm thinking, what the hell is she doing? Then when I see Rusev drop down, spin Cena in the low blow, oh, look at this crap. And he would block on the accolade again, and the referee would have no choice but to declare, you know, Cena was unresponsive. You have no choice but to declare Rusev the winner. And then you got, you know, the fan. You got one fan. You tapped out. You tapped like, hey, fan. You see Cena's hand go like this? No. And then you got, you know, on the panel, Corey Graves saying a submission. I'm thinking, when did passing out count as submission? I thought that counts as the knockout victory. I don't remember that count as submission. I thought submission counts you tapping out or saying I give up or I quit. But I guess now in WWE, yeah, you pass out, that counts as submission. But overall, it was a good match. That was a good performance by Rusev, and you know, surprisingly, you know, Cena lost. Yeah, it was a low blow, but most of, you know, the up and coming heel does not beat Cena in the first match, and does not beat them, you know, and does not beat them with their finishing move. You know, it's either, you know, Cena gets disqualified, or you know, it's interference, somebody interfering, hitting Cena with something, or you know, but no, yeah, it was a low blow, but Cena, but basically in the end, wasn't going to say that Rusev won with his finishing move, and so, you know, that barely happens for Cena. You know, lose the first match of a feud to the up and coming heel, especially to lose in that fashion. Then we get on to the main event, which was good, which never had a dull moment. It never had a dull moment. It was action packed from the get go. Yeah, it's just a little bit of, you know, the feeling out process in the initial ones, but overall it was action packed, and that's the Roman Reigns Bryan feud. I mean, Matt, the winner will earn a WrestleMania shot, you know, their title shot against, you know, Brock Lesnar. Man, like I said, this match I said would be good for Reigns, and it was. This was the match that he needed. And you know, if you're the one that he got carried or whatever, he got carried, whether he got carried or not, you know, it doesn't matter. The point is that it was a great match. It was the match that Reigns needed. If he was going to head to WrestleMania by himself against Brock Lesnar or whoever was champion, this was the match that he needed. So I think finally Roman Reigns has that match, has that one of those career highlight matches, you know, that he needed. That I think any who's supposed to be some stars would need, that career highlight match. And he got it with that Bryan match. Bryan being Bryan. You know, Bryan was kind of, you can say Bryan was almost like the heel, you know, more of the aggressive one in this match. Even though at first it was mostly all Reigns, and then it shifted. He tried to go shoot him, but he got kicked in the gut. It's a rematch, the 6-man tag, and then you know, You know, for the first time, and I'm glad they even brought it up. For the first time, somebody kicked out the knee plus. You know, Brian would kick out the Superman punch too, but he would not kick out the spear, which came at the end with Brian setting up for the knee plus and running into the spear. I had a feeling that would be the finish, and I was not upset about it. I think it was a logical thing. It was either Reigns go for the spear and he gets the knee plus, or Brian goes for the knee plus and gets spear. That's how I saw it. And good thing at the finish I thought was because they were building up, you know, having these returns for Sheamus, that Sheamus going to return, turn heel on Brian, and we have a WrestleMania match between the two. But thankfully that wasn't the case. We had a clean finish, and Reigns is now officially going to WrestleMania 31 to face Brock Lesnar. And after the match, Brian, you know, told Reigns after shaking his hand, you know, you better kick Brock Lesnar's ass. And I actually liked that. I felt that what he was going to say, even when I saw him approaching. I'm like, he might say, you know, you better beat Brock Lesnar or you better kick his ass, and it was the latter. Oh my God, you guys are really promoting this Jon Stewart, Seth Rollins, and they did it on Fastlane too. So the three best matches were the Tag Team Championship match, United States Championship match, and the main event. It's always good to have a good main event. But nonetheless, I think Fastlane, you know, you could have done without Fastlane as a pay-per-view. It could just, you know, been like a Saturday night's main event or anything. And I'm leaving the last conference between Sting and Triple H, which I felt delivered, because, you know, you had Triple H trying to tell Sting, you know, basically, you know, we'll use you, you know, to make basically we'll make money off you, you know, from DVDs, action figures, and you know, action figures, DVDs, you know, Hall of Fame, you know, and everything. I'm like, look at this guy. And you know, Sting wasn't having it. You can tell from his face. You know, Sting didn't talk in his promo, in this segment. And then, you know, we get a scruffle between Triple H and Sting. You know, Triple H, you know, hit Sting with the microphone. He brought out his friend. And lo and behold, Sting, you know, wasn't so unsheathed the beard. The bat. And I'm like, yes. I really was like, yes. And we were all asking, where the hell is the bat? And lo and behold, it came out. He had Triple H. Easy. Now, wait a minute. And Sting would back him up in the corner and point at WrestleMania, alluding to, you know, once you have Mania, and then Triple H, you will be at WrestleMania. You and that Sting run the bat again. I'm like, and then Sting will walk away. And I'm thinking, no, don't turn your back. And Triple H try to charge. Oh, got hit right in the gut. Scorpion Death Drop again. Sting leaves Triple H laying. And then it was made official. No, they showed the graphic, Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 31. And then, you know, also at Fastlane, you know, Bray Wyatt officially finally disclosed that he was talking to, you know, Undertaker, and basically challenged Undertaker to WrestleMania 31. You know, even coming out in the casket and everything. I'm thinking, oh, shoot, man. Undertaker's here early, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. And I'm surprised Bray Wyatt was able to fit in the casket. But then again, Bray Wyatt's not that heavy. Hold up, guys. So that about does it for, you know, Fastlane. I'm gonna beat Brock. I'm gonna beat Brock. That's true. It's the way you. It's the way you beat Brock Lesnar. All right. What the? Um. Oh, man. Oh, man. Shit, Snowgate. Like Snowgate. I'm like, what are you? Oh. Okay, here we go. All right, I see what um I see what Bobby Veen's talking about the enable live chat. All right, so I know most of you guys, the regular viewers, you guys have no problem coming. But once again, if that's not your preference, yeah, I think I enabled the live chat. But yeah. Okay. Hey, Nathan Banks, remember this was your idea. Once again, thank you. Hey, Big Rick. Rick said, hey, Malcolm, things are going well. You may miss the part where I said that. And this morning I slipped on ice, but no damage real done. Hey, Bobby Veen's question, you miss Kelly on WWE? Do I really miss Kelly in WWE? I do miss her smile, but when I heard that, she left, I was like, okay. It wasn't like, damn, I'm really gonna miss her in the ring. And if you really miss Kelly that much, hey, nothing wrong with that. But Kelly, I gotta give some credit. Before her tenure ended, she started to to really try to put on some good. For some odd reason, one thing was she didn't really like running the ropes. I guess they hurt that bad that she didn't like really bouncing off the ropes very well. But it seemed like she was almost like the flavor of the month when she had that Divas Championship ring. Cause once it was over, it was like over. Yeah, she had that WrestleMania match with Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, and Maria Menounos, but after that, it was pretty much over for Kelly. I thought that WWE was really gonna, I really thought that they was really gonna, try to build everything around Kelly, but that was not the case. After she came, I thought they were really gonna build everything around her, but then it looked like they went with Beth. They went back with Beth. And unfortunately, we did not get that Beth, Kong or Karma match. Unfortunately. So, but I think now it's time to get on. It's time to get on to the topic at hand, the main topic at hand, which is Royal Rumble 2000. Yeah, Royal Rumble 2000. I finally watched this event in its entirety a couple of weeks ago. And I thought, okay, how about I talk about Royal Rumble 2000 for the first ever, corner retro. Also, J Flow. The main event last night was my second favorite match of the year so far, with my first being the triple threat at the Rumble. Yeah, that's hey, that's not a bad thing. That the initial two pay-per-views of the year that have had either been for the championship or have had title implications or repercussions have been really good. That is not bad. That is, I feel, how it should be. All right, but yeah, Royal Rumble 2000. Royal Rumble 2000. Um, it emanated January 23rd, 2000. It emanated from my neck of the woods, Madison Square Garden, New York, New York, which from my distance is only a train ride away. But like the only match I only saw, I used to always see from Royal 2000, and that's because in its entirety because of the WWE Championship compilation DVD. The sample third disc that came from when Chris got the GameStop, pre-order version of SmackDown Raw 2007. Was the street fight for the WWE Championship, between Cactus Jack and Triple H. And I only see highlights of, because of my TLC, my Attitude Era TLC DVD of the first ever tag team tables match, between the Dudleys and Hardys. And then anything else would be, a highlight bit of Run 2000. But finally got to see this event in its entirety. And the match started off with, Kurt Angle going against, somebody to be announced. And, lo and behold, be Taz making his WWE debut in his home, New York. And the crowd was hot. And match wasn't long. But, we got to see Taz show his stuff with all the suplexes. Even a suplex right from the top rope. He turned Angle inside out with a German suplex, and he would lock on the Taz mission, and it currently got some suplexes in it as well. But Taz would lock on the Taz mission, and even though Kring will not tap out, he will pass out, and I believe they counted as a knockout finish or something. Only they counted submission once again, like with Rusev, like they did with Rusev and Cena. And you had at the time Kringle was still undefeated, so you had Tad. I mean, you had King saying, he's still undefeated. That was a choke. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. That's not. He's still undefeated in my book. And you even had Kurt after being awakened from the medical. Kurt was stretchered out and everything. You know what I'm saying? But I passed out. That was a choke. That means I'm still undefeated, right? Then we will move on. So Taz will win on his debut. Then we will move on to the tag team, which was elimination style. Tag team table between the Hardys and the Dudleys. And now, this is something that it seems like WWE has forgotten. The rule of a tables match is not the person, whoever's the go through a table is the loser. No, whoever physically by offensive maneuver is put through a table is the loser. And that's what the table rule, that's what the rules for a table match have always been for a long time. And all of a sudden, when they do the Cena Sheamus match, it's just whoever's put through there when Cena basically jumped and everything. It was the Attitude Era at its finest. It was in your face. It was in your face. We had a lot of chair shots. Even a ladder was brought up, but man, in the highlight vid that they showed on the TLC Table Out and Chairs DVD, they only showed a little bit of the chair shots. There was more chair shots than they showed. I mean, especially Bubba, man. Bubba, you know, took so many unprotected chair shots to the head. It was not even funny. You had um, you had the first elimination came when the Hardy Boys put Bubba through the table on the outside with the splash leg drop combination. Jeff came from the top rope while Matt came from the ladder. Then you had Bubba putting Matt through a table with a super power bomb. And then even though it wasn't elimination, Bubba was put through the table again when they went through the crowd, and they climbed up all the way to this like to the like almost like the small balcony area. And Bubba hit with a chair. He would fall through the stack of tables. I think it was like 4 stacks of tables, a stack of 4. And then since Devon and Jeff Hardy were the only eligible, participants, Matt would set up Devon on the table, and Jeff would dive off the balcony and with the swan and a big one, good one, hard one. I would not be surprised if Devon got the win knocked out for a short while. And the Hardy Boys win the first ever tag team tables match in WWE. Then we would get for the Intercontinental Championship a triple threat match between Chris Jericho, Hardcore Holly, Chris Jericho and China. Chris Jericho and China, remember during this time they were co-Intercontinental champions. And I knew Jericho was over in 2000, but that reminded me of how over he was, especially in New York. Man, that crowd was pro Jericho. And the match was okay. We had a lot of double team spots. You had China and Jericho. The double splash on Hardcore Holly. You had a Doomsday Device spot. You had China hit the pedigree. She also did the Walls of Jericho, which to the chagrin of Jericho, and Jericho hit the Bulldog. And then he hit the Lion Saw on China and get the 1, 2, 3, and finally became the undisputed Intercontinental champion. Then we move on to the tag team championship between the New Age Outlaws and the Acolyte before they changed their name to APA. This match was really short. No, it was really short, but at least it was fast paced. But it was fast paced and it was quick. It was quick and it was really quick. It was, X-Pac would get involved. And then, the referee be distracted, and Billy Gunn hit the Famouser, and the Outlaws would retain their title. Really short match. Now you move on to the street fight between, Cactus Jack and Triple H for the W Championship. And this is the match. This is the match that really put over Triple H as a legit, champion, as a threat. Because he took a beating or ass whooping and then gave some. He was bloody from getting with barbed wire. But then he would dish out some punches of his own. Handcuffing Cactus, and hitting him with a chair. It was a nice appearance from the Rock. He helped out Cactus, and Cactus got freed by some New York cop that was conveniently there at the event and had the same keys for that handcuff. And then, Cactus will pull through the pulling power driver on the announcer table, and I'm surprised he did not break his neck, and the cable did not give whatsoever. And then the tactics the tactics we brought into play, and Cactus would be back body drop onto them, and then he would be pedigreed, and then He would kick out. The crowd went, man. The crowd went crazy. Crowd went a big Foley chant, only for Foley to take the pedigree on the damn thumbtack. Would you want to take that spot? Oh, and Triple H get the 1, 2, 3 and retain his WWE Championship. Really helped Triple H out in a big way. Just like how Mick did for Rock in the previous year's Rumble, he did for Triple H. And then he would go on to further help Triple H at Nowhere 2000 the Hell in a Cell match. And by then it wasn't over. While Triple H getting structured out, Cactus brought Triple H back in the ring, hit him with the barbed wire 2x4, and that was the end of that for that night. Then we move on to the 30-man Royal Rumble. It was just so funny, seeing, kind of going back and seeing, who was there in the roster 2000 from, D'Lo Brown, from Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay and Sky Ducati, from the late Viscera back when he was wearing that leather jacket. I don't know. And they got this new camera, and I don't know how Viscera used to wrestle in that thing. It showed how over Rikishi was because his performance really put him over well, from getting a pair of eliminations. Let me see. Rikishi eliminated D'Lo Brown. He eliminated Grandmaster Sexy after, Dance Winner was a good moment. And once again, that reminded me how over, the dancing gimmick of Too Cool was. He eliminated Christian. He eliminated Mosh. He was wearing some weird tie with these stinking, what do you call them? They freaking trees almost like for breasts. And like, what the hell? Let me just check some comments. Guys, if you have seen Rumble 2000 and you remember anything, feel free to, chime in. He also eliminated Steve Blackman. And he also eliminated Viscera before finally being eliminated by Boss Man, Taz, British Bulldog, Gangrel, Edge, and returning Bob Backlund. Once again, China was involved. She eliminated Jericho before getting eliminated by the Boss Man. The Rock came as number 24, as one of the favorites. Kane was a favorite. Then Big Show was a favorite, and X-Pac was number 30, and they were the final four: The Rock, Big Show, Kane, and X-Pac were the final four. X-Pac originally got eliminated by The Rock, but the referees did not see it, so he was able to come back in and eliminate Kane, who was dealing with the Outlaws. But then finally, Big Show will eliminate X-Pac before it finally came down to him and The Rock. And we know how it ended there with Big Show having Rock on his shoulders and them both going over the top. And even though The Rock's feet hit the ground first, the referee declared Big Show as the loser, and then Rock would win the Royal Rumble 2000. To the major cheer, pop to the crowd. And, Rock would cut a small promo for a Big Show, rudely interrupting him. And the show will go off with, Rock, and Big Show staring at each other from the ring and the rampway. But Royal 2000, even though most of the match of the undercard was short, the longest match was of course, the Rumble and the WWE Championship match. But I really enjoyed finally seeing this event this time. I really enjoyed the event, and in fact, I remember, from my recollection, I enjoyed most of the pay-per-views that I watched on pay-per-view, watch live from the year 2000. The first pay-per-view I saw in 2000 was Backlash. And I really enjoyed Backlash. And I enjoyed Judgment Day. I did not see King of the Ring live. Oh, no, I did not watch that on pay-per-view. You know, I did not watch Philly Love, but SummerSlam I was watching. Enjoyed it. Unforgiven, No Mercy, Survivor Series, and I did not see Armageddon. So the only pay-per-view from 2000 that I did not watch, on pay-per-view were Royal Rumble, No Way Out, King of the Ring, which I have on DVD, Fully Loaded, and Armageddon. So I have to see those pay-per-views, in its entirety. In its entirety. So hopefully I will do that sometime. No, but there's some funny things that happen. You had you also had the Miss World 2000 swimsuit. And man, oh man, seeing the bodies of Ivory, Terry, Jacqueline, Barbara Bush, and the Kakaloon didn't really show much. I'm like, wow. Oh my gosh, like especially Ivory and Jacqueline and Barbara, and even Terry at that time, they were really voluptuous. And then Mae Young would come and freaking strip, flash her boobies, and good thing they censored it because there are still people to this day that are haunted by that. And I bet you the people in Madison Square Garden that was there actually there watching that live in person was like, oh my gosh, like they can't get that thought out of their mind. And then you had some funny things with Kai and Ty. You had Kai and Ty, and what the hell? Why is everything blacked out? Oh my gosh, he's gonna punt him. You had Kai and Ty and the Mean Street Posse. They kept interfering in the Rumble, and Taka got thrown out and landed flat on his face and bounced. He had to be taken to the hospital, and then, oh wow, no, we made that so obvious gonna get RKO, and then, King just kept. Did we see that replay again? And then you had, freaking King kept calling Kai and Ty Chinese, and he had first JR the Japanese, and then finally at the end, when Funaki interfered in the Rumble for the final time, you had John JR for the love of Pete. There come King. Who's Pete? That's Funaki. You talking about Funaki, the little Chinese guy, and they got JR. He's Japanese. I'm like, no, you got JR getting pissed off. Then you had a part where, because the Mean Street Posse, anytime they interfered, the first Mean Street Posse, they interfered when Farouk got involved, and they kind of caused Farouk to get eliminated. Then when Bradshaw came, they tried to interfere again, but this time Bradshaw, seeing what happened, Farouk was prepared for it. And there's a part where Pete Gas tries to slide in the ring, and he gets his neck on right, he bounces on. I'm like, oh, first time I saw it was on Botcha Man, so I remembered. I'm like, where's the spot where Pete Gas, botches sliding in the ring? And he never really recovered. He's still like, oh, shoot, like, what's going on? And it's like, oh, my gosh, I just really started dying. That was pretty funny. There was some funny commentary between JR and King, especially, definitely at that time, 2000s, when King was still a heel and everything. You had a lot of funny dialogue exchanges between King and JR. And also, with Pete Gas's botch was freaking hilarious. So there was a new comment. Yeah, what was going there? What was up with that? Hold on, guys. I'm about to wrap this thing up. Look, I saw one comment. Yeah, I didn't understand that with Orton. Man, come on, where's that other comment? I think it was from Big Rick or so, but hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Somebody's at the door. All right, back, guys. I'm wrapping this thing up. Man, but there was, I saw there was a new comment. Oh, there we go. No, there you go. Big Rick. From the 2000 Rumble proved Triple H to be a legitimate heel champion and fully helped Hunter to be ready for his long feud with The Rock. Exactly. I mean, even though the Triple H and Rock feud was already set in place, from in 1998 and even 1999, but yeah, if probably a Triple H never had that feud with The Rock. I mean, with Mick, it maybe would never come up that he's The Rock's equal in terms of main event status, because The Rock had already proved that he went from just being mid card or upper mid carder to a main eventer, and Triple H needed a boost to solidify himself as a main event heel. I like what he said in his, I think. I saw I read. I heard an excerpt, from he was interviewed. He was on Talk Is Jericho, and And he said, you know, at the time, yeah, the two top guys were like, you know, faces. The Rock just turned to a face, so it was him and Austin. And, you know, there's really nobody who's really solidified himself unless you count Vince McMahon. But at the time, Vince McMahon, you know, was kind of turned face by default. But at the time, there's really no, you know, person like, you know, counterpart to The Rock and Austin's, you know, main event, you know, status on the heel side, because, you know, Taker just got injured, and the Boss Man's, you know, heel run for the championship, you know, people laugh at that. You hear that whole thing with him and Big Show. So yeah, you know, like Triple H said, you know, there needs to be a Darth Vader, and with the help of, you know, the matches he had with Mick, that really slipped him as, okay, a legitimate threat as a heel, a legitimate champion too. So yeah, once again, you know, you'd be surprised how many people, you know, Mick helped to solidify themselves as, you know, like top heels, or just, you know, credible. We did it with Orton back in 2004. I mean, you know, years later in 2004, you do it with Orton. So, this type of guy Mick Foley is. He's a good guy, and I hope that you found that this first edition of the Wrestling Corner Retro was good too. I believe, you know, once again, it'll be a monthly thing. So, you know, the next one will be, you know, in March. I don't know what retro pay-per-view will be, but hopefully, you know, somebody will, you know, I'll have a guest for, you know, the next one. Because the idea is, it's not just you are a guest. I think what Nathan Lynch, like, when you're a guest, it's because you have, you know, you basically have seen, you know, the pay-per-view too. So, you know, you can, you know, give your 2 cents on the pay-per-view as well. So I think what I might do is, whenever I decide what it is going to be, I'm going to announce it, keep it in everybody's mind a week beforehand. So whoever wants to be the guest of that edition, if they had not seen the pay-per-view, they can, you know, especially if they have access to W Network, can, you know, take the opportunity to, you know, actually watch that, finally see that pay-per-view, whatever it is, whatever retro pay-per-view it is. I think if you're going to be a guest, you know, of, you know, the retro edition of Wrestling Corner, and, you know, the main topic is going to be on a certain pay-per-view, you know, I would think that, you know, you're a guest on it, and you have, you know, you can give your insight, you know, your 2 cents on whatever pay-per-view it is. You know, you wouldn't want to be the guest of something that, you know, you have no information on. You're just, yeah, that match was good, and you never seen the match. You know, I don't think you would want to be in that position. You know, you just feel, you know, lost. You know, you're like, yeah, I'm a guest, but I feel lost. Like, you know, I've never seen this pay-per-view, so I'm just going with whatever is being said. But anyway, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed the Bennett Wrestling Corner edition of the retro edition of the corner. You know, I hope, you know, everybody has a nice weekend. Don't forget, this is the last week, you know, of February. This is the last, you know, last week of February. Yeah, so I hope that, you know, that you end up, that your February, you know, ends very well. You know, the last days of February goes very well for all of you that, you know, watch this edition of, you know, further edition of Bennett Wrestling Corner Retro. This is Hopeland 93, always in the place to be. And until next time, peace.